You know that feeling, right? You're at an event or you're staring at an email and you get that pit in your stomach because you know you have to network. It's supposed to be the key to everything, but why does it so often feel so fake? Well, we're gonna break down exactly why that is and figure out a much better way to connect.
So let's just be real for a second. When you hear that word networking, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it genuine human connection, or does it feel more like a cold, calculated transaction? Yeah, if you cringed a little just now, trust me, you are not alone. That feeling is almost universal.
The whole problem really boils down to this, right here. On one side, you've got what we're all actually craving, real, genuine connections built on trust and shared values. But on the other side, you've got modern networking. It's all about utility, what someone can do for you, and basically just collecting contacts like they're trading cards.
And this constant pressure to network in that transactional way, it's created a very real, very modern kind of anxiety. So let's unpack exactly why this whole approach just leaves so many of us feeling, well, pretty empty. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? When networking becomes about collecting interests or, potential advantages, people stop being people. They just become assets, pieces on a chessboard. And that right there is exactly why it feels so hollow and inauthentic.
Now, to really understand our modern problem, we actually need to rewind the clock. I'm talking way back, because our deep biological need for a real network is so much older than LinkedIn or any social media platform.
Okay, take this concept for example. Hemşehrilik. It's a Turkish word, and it describes this amazing social safety net that forms when people from the same small town move to a huge city. They look out for each other, they help find jobs, housing, you name it. And this isn't just a Turkish thing, it's a deeply human instinct. We're wired to form these tribes based on shared trust.
And here is the absolute key difference. These original human networks, they were never about climbing some corporate ladder or gaining status. No, they were about something way more fundamental, survival. It was about creating a safety net, pooling your resources, and just making it through together.
And you can see this exact pattern all throughout human history. From tiny hunter-gatherer tribes 10,000 years ago to the migrants of the 20th century, the story is the same. Forming supportive groups to survive and thrive isn't just a good idea, it is literally hardwired into our DNA.
Which of course brings us to today. Our ancient tribal brain is now trying to make sense of the infinite, overwhelming landscape of the internet. And you know what? This is where the wires get seriously crossed.
Let's talk about our own biology for a sec. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar came up with this idea called Dunbar's number. He proposed that our brains can only really handle about 150 stable, meaningful relationships. That's it. That's basically the size of our ancestral tribe, the cognitive limit for who we can genuinely know and trust.
And then there's this number, 5,000 or more. Social media platforms are constantly pushing us to collect thousands upon thousands of friends or connections. You see the problem, right? There's this massive anxiety-inducing gap between our biology and our technology. We are just not built for this kind of scale.
So what happens with this kind of digital overload? Well, it completely changes our behavior. We've been subtly pushed from focusing on quality to a game of pure quantity. We're not building deep bonds anymore, we're just collecting shallow links. And that is the real root of all this networking anxiety.
So, what do we do? How do we fix this? Well, the answer isn't to just throw our phones away and go live in the woods. It's actually about applying that ancient, timeless wisdom about human connection to our modern digital age.
So here are 4 ancient rules that work perfectly today. First, stop trying to network and start producing something of value. Create something cool, write something useful, build something interesting. Communities naturally form around people who make things. Second, bridge your digital and physical worlds. Online chats are a start, but real-world interaction is what makes those bonds stick. Third, build on a shared purpose. Real connection happens when you're doing things together. Join a club, a team, a project that you actually care about. And finally, number 4, engage with diverse groups. It broadens your horizons and actually makes the whole community stronger.
But look, if there is one single golden rule that changes everything, one idea to take away from all of this, this is it.
The concept is called generosity capital. It's really just a modern name for an idea that's as old as time. You build value by contributing to your community first. Share what you know, help people out, offer support, and do it all without keeping score or expecting something back right away. It is hands down the most powerful way to build real trust.
This quote says everything you need to know. Be the one who gives first. Then you can ask. This one simple shift in your mindset changes the entire game. The moment you move from thinking, what can I get from this person, to what can I give to this community, you unlock real, lasting connections. Networking stops being a transaction and it starts being a collaboration.
So, that's the question I want to leave you with. Forget about who can I meet or what can I gain. Just ask yourself this instead. What value can I create for my community, for my network, today? Because the answer to that question, that's the beginning of a much better way to connect.